What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today on this video we'll be doing determinant introduction. So before we start with introduction, I just like to say thank you very much guys for watching, subscribing, and also not forgetting those who like and share the videos. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel because I've made lots and lots of videos on this channel. All right guys, so before we continue, I just like to tell you about the definition of determinant. Determinant, guys, is a function of which the input is a square matrix and the output is a number. So what exactly do they mean by that? So the input, like they said, it's a square matrix. So the square matrix looks like this, right? Where you have the following inputs there or entries, right? So this on its own, it's a matrix. When you have a grid of numbers set up in this manner, it is a matrix. But then this is a square matrix because of it has two rows and two columns, guys, right? So the number of rows and the number of columns are equal. So we can call this one row 1 and this one row 2. And this one we can call it column 1 and column 2, right? So we can say sometimes 2 by 2, 2 rows, 2 columns. And another name for it, we can call it the second order, right? So this is one of the examples of the square matrix. But we have others where we have 3 columns and we also have 3 rows. If you multiply this is more like square for both of them. So the one of the third order, we're going to do it later on in the channel. For now, we're going to focus on the second order. Now, when you calculate the determinant, guys, from this square matrix, you must have the product of the first entry, A1, and the last entry, which is B2. So when you multiply A1 with B2, this product here, it should be subtracted by the product of entry 2, which is B1, multiplied by A2. So this here, guys, it's actually how you calculate the determinant. If you go back to the definition, it says it's a function of which the input, this is the input right here, is the square matrix and the output is the number, the answer that you get here. So this is actually what a determinant is. So we have a way of identifying these entries here. We have I, which represent the row, right? And then we have J, which represent the column. Because sometimes they can ask you to find the entry in this manner, right? So M represent that entry. So you must able to see or you must able to identify when they give you MIJ, which exactly is that entry. So an example could be something like this. If let's say they give you M, it's 1, 2, and then you must able to tell exactly what is this entry here. By the look of things here, let's go back to our square matrix then. This one means it's our first row, and this 2 here means that is the second column. This means that M12 is actually B1 because B1 is on the first row and second column. As you can see, 1 for row and then 2 for column. So I hope you can able to see how to identify these entries here. We have to make an example of how to actually calculate the determinant when we use the actual numbers. So let me erase this space here and let's see if we can able to calculate them. All right, let's do an example here. Let's say you have this square matrix here. Let's say you have -1 on the first entry. The second entry, let's say you have 2. Third entry, let's say you have 3. And the fourth entry, let's say you have 4. Right. And then we say calculate the determinant of this square matrix here. Remember, the formula is you multiply the first entry with the last entry minus the product of the second entry and the third entry. So let's do it. So your determinant is going to be the -1 multiplied by 4 minus 2 multiplied by 3. Now, if you continue here, this is going to give us -4, the first bracket, and the second bracket is going to give us -6. When you add them together, this is going to give us negative 10. So basically, this is our determinant for this square matrix here. I hope you can able to understand how we got to this. So sometimes you can be given a problem in a manner of two equation. Remember, this is a second order. So in a second order, you can be given two equations and then you must be able to calculate the determinant. So let me erase this part here and show you what I am talking about. All right, let's create equations now. Let's say we have the first equation. We have 5x plus 3y. All this is equaling to negative 2. And then the second equation, let's say we have negative x plus 2y. All this is equaling to 3. As you can see now, we are given these two equations and they can ask you guys to calculate the determinant based on these two equations. First of all, you need to create the square matrix here. It's very, very simple. When you create the square matrix here, you only take the coefficient of the x and y's of this equation. For example, for the first equation here, the first entry is going to be the coefficient of x there. And then the second entry is going to be the coefficient of y on this one here. And then when you go to the second row, we're going to have the third entry, which is going to be negative 1, and the fourth entry, which is going to be 2 there. As you can see now, we have the square matrix here. So to find the determinant, we just need to use the formula that we talked about earlier. So let's do it. Now, determinant is going to be the multiplication of the first entry, which is going to be 5 multiplied by 2 minus the product of the second entry and the third entry, which is going to be 3 multiplied by negative 1. Right, so you do your math. This is going to be 10. This is going to be plus 3. And then your final answer, your determinant for this one is going to be 13. As you can see, on this one, they give you in a manner of equation. So do not forget, guys, this is the second order. Now, on the third order, you might have 3 equations with 3 variables. For the second order, we have 2 variables, which is x and y, and 2 equations. As you can see, we have 2 rows here, and we also have 2 columns there. All right, guys, I hope you managed to understand how to calculate the determinant. On the next video, we'll be solving or calculating a determinant when they give you a question that is a bit tricky, and also how to rearrange so that you can able to do our square matrix. Do not forget to like this video if this video helped you to understand determinant and also how to calculate a determinant. If it so happened that you didn't understand, you can leave a comment in the comment section, and also you can rewatch the video until you understand. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. Till next time, cheers.